Hey guys, good morning. It's so funny. Just as I said that, I thought, uh-oh, I hope I don't have food in my teeth. At any rate, welcome. I'm super glad you guys are here. My name is Elizabeth. I'm your instructor, and you're in a Pilates inspired fitness class. And for props today, we're going to use dumbbells. So let's get this party started and grab those dumbbells. And with dumbbells in hand, let's lift both heels, lower one heel, bend an elbow, lift both heels and switch and switch and switch and switch and continue. And then guys, with this simple move, I'd like to request of you, as always, to keep your workout with me today pain-free. So comfortably uncomfortable is all right, but pain is not. So anytime you're feeling stabbing pain, shooting pain, joint pain, structural pain, anything like that, please stop what you're doing and do something different so those feelings go away. It is super important to me. My goal as an instructor is that every student feels better after every class. So I need your help with that. So please take care of your sweet body and modify as needed. All right, guys, just warming up that body, keeping that navel tucked in the spine for 2 and 1 and pause. And then just take a moment and swing those arms from side to side. I call this move Lady in a Park. Notice how this feels. We'll revisit this move a few times, and I want you to begin to notice if it feels different. All right, for 2 and 1 and come to center. Okay, let's pull those elbows back behind us. Take a kick one foot back, reach those arms back and switch and continue. All right, guys, you guys continue with that. I'm just realizing I'm finding that when we wear tight clothes in Pilates, it always helps us check our form better. So that's the reason why we wear tight clothes in Pilates, by the way. All right, so at any rate, keeping those elbows back behind, that navel is tucked to the spine, those shoulders are down and back. And on, if you wish, you can continue with this version. If you want more, the next time you have your left toe back, pause, and then let's lean forward, lifting those arms and pause. From here, guys, taking a balance challenge. By the way, those rear toes are in the direction of the ground, so hopefully those hips are squared off. Let's bend and straighten, bend and straighten, and continue. Breathing, balancing for 5. Looking so good, girls. And 4. Keeping those elbows high in space, so we're working those triceps as we straighten those arms, kicking those arms back. And 3, I know, super long set. And 2. All right. Next time those arms are bent, pause, and let's reach those arms straight down. Okay, from here, guys, keeping that leg lifted, you can place it down at any time. Let's pull those elbows up towards the ceiling and straighten. And do it again. And continue. Think about a lat row type movement here for 4. And 3, 2, and 1. Pause, and let's come up to standing. Woo! Feeling that. All right, let's swing those arms from side to side. Noticing how one leg feels different than the other. For 2 and 1, and come to center. All right, then let's kick the other leg back behind us. Go ahead and lean forward, lifting that rear leg in space, pulling those elbows up behind us, straighten and bend, straighten and bend, and continue. Begin to feel the work in your triceps as you straighten those arms. And by the way, are those elbows sagging down? And if so, recommit to hoisting them high towards the ceiling. Breathing, whoa, balancing, so good. Looking awesome. I'm loving it. For 4 and 3, woo, 2. All right, next time those elbows are bent, pause, and then let's straighten those arms down to the side. Recommit to your really good form, and then let's lift those elbows and straighten and lift and straighten. Woo, and continue. And breathe. See if you can feel those muscles below your bra strap area on both sides of your back as you hoist those elbows high up to the ceiling. I'm seeing those faces. I'm feeling it too. For 4 and breathe. And 3, 2 and 1, and come to center. Oh my goodness, feeling that quite a bit. And swing those arms from side to side. For 2, and 1, and come to center. Arms in goalpost position. Navel tucked to the spine, shoulders down and back. Let's sweep those forearms together. Lift one knee into tabletop. Put that foot down and switch, and continue. Getting that mobility in the shoulders, breathing, imagining, if you will, that those elbows are resting on the countertop. So you cannot take them off the countertop or press them through the countertop. Thus, those arms are not lifting or lowering in space. Hollowing out that belly for 4, and 3, and 2. Okay, next time you have a knee in tabletop, pause. Keep that knee in tabletop, open those arms and close, open and close. Continue really feeling that warmth in the shoulder area. And then finally, if you want more, guys, as you close those elbows, begin to kick that leg and bend and kick and bend. Woo! Isn't it funny how we can just take a simple move and layer on, and suddenly it's not so easy anymore. For 3, 2, and 1. Keep that knee in tabletop. Rest those arms at your sides. Then keeping your knee bent in that 90-degree angle, guys. Let's lean forward. Yeah. And come back up to standing. And do it again. As you lean forward, try to maintain that 90-degree angle bend in the knee. Breathing for 4. Looking so good. And 3. Oh, notice how you're feeling the front of your body, guys, as you come forward. So in other words, right here, we're feeling the front of the thigh, the front of the arms. And as we come back, we're feeling the back of the thigh and the back of the arms. And 2. And 1 more. And come to center. Nice job. You know what's coming next. Let's take that other knee, reach it into a tabletop position, arms in goalposts. We'll sweep those elbows together and open, and do it again. And continue trying to keep that knee straight out from the hip if that's available to you. Yeah. And again, keeping those elbows at the same height so they're not lifting or lowering as we're going through this range of motion. For 3, and 2. Okay, adding on as you bring those elbows together, maybe kick that leg long and do it again. And continue. And notice how you're feeling the muscles in the leg moving through space, but also quite a bit, you're feeling the muscles in the other leg, which are not moving, but those muscles are active, stabilizing you. So that's kind of cool. Notice if you're losing your form. If so, recommit to it. For 2. All right, guys, next time that knee is in tabletop, let's reach those arms down to the sides. Keep that knee in the tabletop. This is a little bit more challenging for me on this side. And then we'll lift and then come back to center and reach and do it again. And breathe. You guys look so good. I love it. Loving your balance, by the way. This is pretty challenging, and you guys are doing a really good job. And breathe. Whoa. As you guys know, we begin to lose our balance at the age of 30, which is horrifying. But the good news is it's a skill, and when we practice it, it comes back pretty quickly. And I believe that is why you guys look so amazing, because you've been doing this or these types of activities with me for a while. All right, we'll go for 3 more. Breathing. And 2. Hollowing out that belly. And 1 more. And come to center. Well done. Good job, guys. Let's swing those arms from side to side. For 2, and 1. Come back to center. Okay, arms in goalpost. One knee overhead, reach those arms forward and switch and switch and switch and continue, or come into a different sort of a move. So what we're going to do here, guys, is come into a minute of cardio. Actually, it might be more than a minute, but we're coming into a little cardio blast. So any type of move is fine. You can disco dance, you can do burpees, you can run the stairs, you can look really goofy like me. Just don't take yourself too seriously. Just move your body through space. The goal here, guys, is to feel an increased sense of urgency to breathe. Yeah, I love it. So cute. I'm seeing these beautiful women just dancing through my screen. It's super fun. And breathing, navel tucked to the spine. When we feel that increased sense of urgency to breathe, we're in a really good cardiovascular zone, which lends to burning fat. So just when it's a little bit hard to breathe, like it would be a little challenging and taxing to talk in complete sentences, which you can totally hear in my voice right now. I'm in that happy fat burning heart rate. Breathing, navel tucked to the spine. I feel so dorky, it's fun. All right, guys, and breathe. So this type of cardio activity, actually in any exercise, but particularly when we get that heart rate up, really lends to staving off depression. And it's kind of interesting because the experts aren't certain why. Some people believe it's because it releases chemicals in your brain, which lend to a better mood. And other experts believe it's because it's like a physical affirmation of doing something for yourself, taking care of yourself. And as with many things in life, they are probably both correct. And breathing. Yeah, so we've gone for 2 minutes. We'll go for 1 more minute. Going for that 3-minute mark. By the way, you guys continue. If you wish, and the bouncy thing is not working for your bones or your joints or whatever, just doesn't feel good. If you, even without dumbbells, just go through this movement that I'm doing right here, it will increase your heart rate because you're moving the major muscle groups of the body. And anytime we work with those arms overhead, it will lend to increasing that heart rate because your heart has to work harder to pump blood to those upper extremities. Okay, just about 13 more seconds, but he's counting, that would be me. And breathe, loving it. You guys look so good. All right, for 3 and 2 and 1, and come to center. All right, notice how you feel right now, feeling that slight sense of increased urgency to breathe, feeling that heart rate up a little bit. Perhaps you're feeling your pores beginning to open. Maybe you're a little glistening. And breathe for 2 and 1, and come to center. All right, guys, from here, let's reach those arms in front, roundness in those elbows. Then we're going to reach those arms overhead, reach those arms in front, and do it again, and continue. And then, guys, feet together, knees together, softness in the knees, keeping the knees behind the toes as we reach those arms overhead. Let's reach that booty back in space like we're going to begin to sit in a chair, come up to standing, and do it again, and continue. And breathe. So the trick here is we're reaching that booty back in space. And in effect, go ahead and continue. What we're doing, if you see in the mirror, we're keeping these knees behind those toes. If those knees come forward, that's not good for the knee. So just keep that in mind. All right, for 3 and 2. And the next time you're down, stay down. All right, keeping that booty back in space. Palms are facing each other. Keep those palms facing up. Kick one leg to the side. Come to center and switch. Oh, and switch. And switch and continue. So a moment ago, I was just telling you that if we move the major muscle groups in the lower body, working with those arms overhead, we'll stay in that cardio zone. So this is a little tricky because we're still doing cardio. I can hear it in my voice. You're probably feeling it. By the way, if the shoulders are not agreeing with this movement, You can get rid of the dumbbells and go through this range of motion or anything else. Oh, and breathe for 5 and 4 and 3. Looking so good. And 2. All right, the next time you have a leg out, it doesn't matter which pause. Let's pull those elbows in, back behind us again. And then guys, keeping that leg straight, we'll lift and straighten those arms back behind and do it again. And continue. If you find your standing leg straightening, which I can see mine is in the mirror, if it feels okay, recommit to that squat position, and it'll kick the work really a lot into that back booty area of the leg, stabilizing. And then notice how you're feeling the outer portion of the thigh, which you are lifting in space. Breathing, oh, for 4. So we're really sculpting muscles here, guys. We have minimum weight and we're doing a lot of repetitions. And that's when we get the magic of sculpting, getting those long, lean Pilates muscles. Oh, for 3. I know I'm feeling it too. And 2, loving the smiles. And 1, oh my gosh, and come to standing. And notice how one side feels really different than the other. So yeah, you guessed it. We'll balance that out. So let's find that squat position where we're sitting back in space. Oh, take the other leg out. Yeah, that's so funny. I forgot which leg I had. And then reach those elbows back behind. And then straighten and tap, straighten and tap. Woo! And continue. Yeah, looking so good. Notice if your whole body is leaning as you're going through this range of motion. And if it is, see if you can work really hard to isolate it. So it's just the bones and the joints moving that you want them to move, namely the head of the femur and the hip socket and the elbows right now. Everything else is absolutely still. Oh, breathing, going for those cute perky booty cheeks. Oh my gosh, I'm feeling so many muscles active in my standing leg. In fact, I think I'm feeling every single one of them. Got back of the leg, inner thigh, outer thigh, and quadriceps. Oh, breathing, yeah, looking so good for 4. You kind of look like monsters in a strength show. And 3, and breathe, and 2, and 1. Oh, and come back to center. Oh, I came out of that not very graceful. You guys did a nicer job than I did. And swing those arms from side to side. All right, for 2, and 1. Reach those arms into goalpost. 1 knee in tabletop, reach those arms forward and switch and switch and switch and continue. And you guessed it, we're coming back into a little cardio blast. So whatever feels good for you, and they're gone. Suddenly I'm the only one on my screen. Yeah, so a lot of times my students take off and run the stairs. I think that's what they're doing. I've never asked them actually. Hey Lisa, when you take off, do you run the stairs? Give me a thumbs up. Yeah, okay, so I was right. Yeah, so I can accurately say that when we do these cardio blasts, a lot of my students go and run the stairs. And breathe. And remember, the goal here is to get that heart rate up just a little. You don't need to kill yourself. Well, that sounded really dark, but you know, you don't need to just, I guess what I'm trying to say is you don't need to work yourself into a zone that feels really unpleasant for you, such that you don't want to do it again. So we're just being gentle and easy. And yeah, and when we do that time after time after time again, we get our really, really nice, strong, long, lean bodies. Breathing, we come for 1 minute, we'll continue and breathe. Yeah. And again, suddenly I'm all by myself. All right. So I guess I'll talk to my YouTube students right now. If you're joining me on YouTube, woo woo, I'm so excited you're here with me today. Thank you. I appreciate it a lot. And I'd love it if you'd like, comment, and subscribe. And breathe. All right, guys, we're going to go for just about 30 more seconds. And breathe, do that into your breathing. Yeah, looking so good. And just 15 more seconds. I love it. You remind me of Rocky. Wow, that's dating myself, right? The old boxer movies. All right, for 2 and 1, and come to center. Okay, and notice if you're feeling sort of that flurry of the results of that flurry of activity. So hopefully you're feeling pretty good. We're going to switch gears and take this down to the mat. So keep those dumbbells nearby, and we'll come directly down to a seated position. Dumbbells nearby. Wow, I can really feel my heart rate is up. Okay, guys. And then from here, we'll just place those hands behind us, take a step apart with those feet, and then windshield wiper those knees from side to side. So this is a feel-good moment. We're moving in a different plane of motion, and we're massaging out this booty area, which we just worked. Plus, if you were with me on Monday, we worked it quite a bit then too. So this probably feels really good, just taking that massage. Again, I feel like a funny Muppet monster type character going through this range of motion, just enjoying that booty massage for 2 and 1, and come back to center. Okay, guys, next, kick your legs out long. Legs are in front of you. Reach those arms forward. I'm going to omit this, but for you, you're reaching those arms forward. It's probably feeling really, really good. And then stack your spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, and then roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. Once you're all the way down, look through those fingertips. Take an inhale. As you exhale, let's roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, coming all the way up, and then reach those fingertips forward. And then stack your spine, vertebrae upon vertebrae. And then really, really nice articulation, you guys. And then roll down vertebrae by vertebrae and continue. By the way, if this is not feeling good for you, just place those fingertips behind the head, resting your head in your hands so your head is heavy in your hands, and come in and out of a crunch position. Yep, so remember, any modification at any time is fine and encouraged. And then, guys, the next time you're down, stay down. And then let's have everyone place the fingertips behind the head. Come into a crunch position. Look down over your legs. Take that right foot and lift it in space. So I want that right foot straight. I want the heel down, toes up, lifted in space, and make it such that that your heel is just about at the level of the toes on the other foot. So that foot is not super high in space. All right, then take an inhale as you exhale, come into a crunch. Inhale, lower, exhale, crunch, and continue. We're going to add on to this, but if you wish, you can continue with this version. If you want more pause, lower your head, reach those arms up to the ceiling. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, roll up to a seated position, just as you did before, just with your leg lifted. I'm going to omit that sequence, but if that feels good for you, go ahead and do that, and then reach forward, feeling the stretch. Stack your spine, vertebrae upon vertebrae, and roll back down. You guys look amazing. I love it, and continue. Yeah, you guys look awesome. Good, and then give me that 2 more times. You guys are so strong. You know how to make a Pilates instructor proud. Good. And the next time you're all the way down, stay down. All right, let's lower everything down. And just take a moment and lie flat. Let's all lace the fingertips behind the head. And just feel that stretch in your shoulders. Feel that stretch in your midsection. And particularly, notice the stretch in the oblique area, which you just worked a little bit because we were doing work on one side of the body. All right, guys. And then fingertips laced behind the head. Come in back into your crunch position with your head, neck, and torso. And then let's take that left leg, hover it in space. And then we'll lower and lift and lower and lift. I'll cue for the roll up in just a minute. But for now, let's all just start with those abdominal crunches with that left leg lifted. Oh, and breathe. I know I'm feeling this quite a bit, even though I'm not rolling all the way up. And then finally, guys, if you wish, if it's agreeing for your body today, the next time your head is down, pause, reach those arms straight up to the ceiling, and then begin your roll-ups, rolling all the way up, and then reaching forward, keeping that leg lifted. Really nice, again, articulation, you guys. Yeah, and continue rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae, and continue, and breathe. Really good. Hollowing out that belly, strengthening that quadriceps area. If you have your fingertips laced behind your head, you're still doing a whole bunch of work. And Linda, I'm watching you. We'll go for 2 more to your count, and then we'll move on. Yeah, looking really good. Loving it. Good. And 1 more. Again, really nice articulation, you guys. Beautiful. And then the next time you're down and take your time coming down, go ahead and stay down. Let's all lace those fingertips behind our head and just take that stillness. Allow those feet to flop open, just taking that resting position. And again, just notice how your body feels after that flurry of activity. That's a pretty good feeling. You guys created that. That's a cool thing. I don't know if anyone's ever experienced periods of inactivity where you feel crappy about it, but we're not doing that, so that's cool. All right, guys, let's go ahead and bend those knees. Feet are flat. Then we'll reach the arms down towards the hips, arms resting on the mat. For this next sequence, we're going to keep the head down. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lift those hips, then come onto those tippy toes. All right, guys. From here, I want you to begin to hula hoop those hips. So begin to twirl those hips in circles, like you're twirling a hula hoop around, which I've never been successful at. Never been successful at twirling a hula hoop. I haven't gotten the secret of how to do that. But at any rate, so just notice how this feels, getting that mobility, that motion in your spine and your hips, you're stretching. And strengthening. Notice the direction that you're twirling that hula hoop, and pause, and then let's begin to reverse the direction and continue. So a lot of times we frequently talk about pelvic stability while we're doing our bridges, but for this sequence, you can let all that go and just enjoy the movement in the bridge for 3 and 2 and 1, and pause. And then, guys, let's squeeze those knees together a lot. Squeeze those knees, heels are lifted, breathing, squeezing those booty cheeks. Let's even begin to squeeze our pelvic floor, and then release and squeeze and release and continue. So when I'm talking about the pelvic floor, that's actually part of the core area. It's like you're trying to stop peeing midstream. So just continue for 3, and breathe. Wow, feeling that quite a bit. And 2, and 1, and then release, and then roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. Oh, nice job, guys. All right, and then take a step apart with those feet. Windshield wiper those knees from side to side, and notice how that stretch is shifting across your midsection. For 2, and 1, and come to center. All right, guys, next, let's come to a side lying position and place the elbow directly under the shoulder. I'm going to scoot down just a little bit. All right, so that elbow is under the shoulder, and then we'll take that top leg and kick it long. That bottom leg is bent in a 90-degree angle directly in front of us, and those top toes are down towards the mat. All right, if you have that range of motion in your ankle. If you don't, that's okay. Okay, from here, navel is stacked to the spine. That elbow is directly below the shoulder. Take an inhale as you exhale. Let's lift those hips and lower, and do it again and continue. You're breathing. By the way, if your shoulders are talking to you today and this is not feeling good for your shoulders, you're welcome to come up onto your hand. Just make sure that that hand is directly below the shoulder. So that's always an option. Oh, and breathe. Actually, it feels better for me today on my hand. So I'll stay here. Breathing, hollowing out that belly. Navel is tucked to the spine. When you come up, guys, try to be in a straight line all the way from your tailbone through your spine to your neck to your head. In other words, your head is not dangling down. And breathe for 4, looking good, and 3, and 2, and 1, and lower all the way down. If you came up onto your hand, go ahead and come back onto your elbow. And then, guys, I'm just going to reposition a little bit. Okay, and then from here, on that elbow, let's take that top leg out long. We'll hover it in space. Kick it all the way forward, and back, and forward, and back, and continue. Again, try to create that long, straight line. You are breathing. Good. Feeling that nice stretch, feeling work in the hip area and the leg area, feeling that mobility. If this position is not agreeing with you, you are welcome to come down, resting your head on your hand, or you can lie your ear on your bicep. For 3, whatever feels good for you. This actually feels better for me. And 2, I'm modifying a lot today, which, by the way, should give you permission if you're one of those people of like, I'm not going to modify, just modify. For 2. And the next time that foot is forward, pause. All right, so if you were to lie that leg down, those knees would be together. And let's get those knees out in front of the hips if that's available. If that's not available, it's okay if they're a little bit below. Okay, and then hover that foot in space and tiny circles. And breathe. Navel tuck to the spine. Oh my gosh, feeling a lot. I'll just leave it at that. Whoa. And breathe. By the way, if you think about what's going on in the head of the femur and the hip socket, it's quite interesting. Oh, for 3 and 2 and pause. And then you guessed it, we'll reverse the direction of those circles. Oh. And breathe. Looking good, guys. I think I'm seeing feet moving through my screen. No, that's a leg. I don't know what it is. But anyways, I love that you guys are moving through space with me and we're doing this together. And breathe for 3. Best job ever. Like I literally get paid to work out. Oh, that's so cool. For 2. And 1 and pause. Oh my gosh. All right, let's take that bottom leg. We'll reach it long. Take that top leg and bring it over, bringing that knee in front of the hip. Reach both arms in front of you. Take that top arm up and over. I'm going to omit this, but I'm interested in here, guys, is just a really nice stretch if that feels good to you. Actually, this does feel good. I'll hang out here. And breathe. So those of you who have been with me for a while, you know that I have back issues, and last year I was doing something that is not strenuous or out of the ordinary or anything, and my back just seized up, and I was out for like, I don't know, 6 weeks. So definitely taking care of my back, and I definitely want you to take care of your body as well. For 2 and 1 and come back to center. All right, bringing both knees in front of the hips. Again, this time we're going to take that top leg and we're going to kick it out long. So it's almost like we're standing on that top leg, if we were standing, and the other knee is bent in a tabletop position. And then let's flex and point and continue. And then, whoops, the next time those toes are pointed, pause, and then let's draw tiny circles. So we're still drawing circles. This time we're keeping our toes pointed and our leg is straight out from the hip in a different way. I guess it was straight out from the hip before, but now it's as if we were standing on that leg with the opposite knee in tabletop. Oh, breathing. Notice the direction of your circles. Pause and reverse the direction of those circles and breathe. Oh, yep. Ooh. Feeling this quite a bit. I'm feeling it too for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Good. And let's bring both knees together directly in front of the hips again. And we'll take that stretch one more time, this time with both knees in front of the hip. And reach those arms forward. Take that top arm up and over. If you wish, if you have the range of motion, you can take your top shoulder all the way down to the mat. And if you wish, you can look over those far fingertips. Wow, I'm feeling a lot of smarting going on right here. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then, guys, let's flip over onto the belly. So just roll over onto your belly. Tuck those elbows underneath you. Tuck those toes underneath you. Take an inhale. As you exhale, just come up into your plank position. Good. And hold this. Make your forearms look like the number 11. And also make it such that trying to create a straight line from your heels to your tush, to the waist, to the shoulders, to the head. That means there are no wrinkles in your neck, neither in the front because your head is hanging low, nor in the back because you're looking forward. Just try to keep that neck in line with the spine. Breathing, we've been here for 30 seconds, and we're going for 30 more seconds. Breathing, hollowing out that belly. Navel is tucked to the spine. Frequently, I invite moves into a plank to kind of distract us from what we're doing. But for this plank, let's just focus on that form. Hollowing out that belly, slightly puffing up the waist, slightly puffing up that area between the shoulder blades. Breathing. For 2 and 1. And go ahead and come down. Good. Let's keep those elbows under the shoulders, guys. And then let's energetically draw. By the way, so our hips are down. So we're lying on our bellies now. And then our torso is lifted, elbows under the shoulders. And then let's energetically draw those elbows towards our midsection and use that as leverage to feel a really nice stretch in that abdominal area and a really nice stretch in the back. It's a really pretty day in Southern California today. It's starting to feel like fall. I love that. And breathe, although I heard it's going to be in the 90s this weekend. All right, for 3 and 2 and 1 and release. Okay, let's take our hands. Lower the chest down, place the hands under the shoulders, elbows bent, elbows high up towards the ceiling. And then from here, guys, let's squeeze those booty cheeks and hover those feet just above the mat with our legs super straight. So squeezing those booty cheeks, legs are straight. Open those legs and close, open and close, and continue. And breathe. I'm just going to reposition myself. I need a little padding here on the mat. Woo! Breathing. All right, guys. And then if you wish, take one hand, reach it back behind you, other hand back behind you, and then with straight arms, palms facing each other, lift those arms up to the ceiling. Looking down again, we are making it such that we do not have wrinkles in the neck. Breathing, shoulders down and back, squeezing those booty cheeks, hollowing out that belly, navel is tucked to the spine. Begin to lift your shoulders up towards the ceiling in a manner that feels good to you. Still just opening and closing those legs. You should feel inner thighs, outer thighs, front of the thighs, back of the thighs. So lots going on for 4 and 3. Woo! 2 and 1. Pause. And then lay your right cheek onto the mat. Palms facing up, toes together, heels open, completely in a resting position. And just take a few breaths here, guys. Notice that mobility in your neck, so that we're also getting a really nice neck stretch here. And just use your breath to help you relax into this. I used to do this move in the yoga studio, and my favorite instructor, she'd always come around in this position, and she would put her heels on the balls of my feet and kind of massage them. I'm missing her right now. Her name was Candace. She was a fabulous instructor. All right, guys, for 3 and 2 and 1, and then let's pivot our face back to center. Place those hands underneath us, elbows bent on the tippy toes. And then let's press our torso up as far as feels good for you. Then take an inhale as you exhale. Let's hover those hips. So we're coming into a plank. Yep. All right. Awesome. Okay. So we're going to hold this plank for a minute. If it's better for you on your forearms, that's totally an option. I want you to think about tucking your tail under slightly like a scared dog, puffing your waist up slightly. And then the area between your shoulders, gently puffing it up towards the ceiling. So what I'm really not interested in, what I don't want, guys, is for that waist to sag and the area between your shoulders to sag. Yep. So you're keeping your elbows slightly soft and breathing, hollowing out that belly. Navel is tucked to the spine, shoulders down and back. You guys are so strong. And breathe. Woo! Holding, breathing. Softness in the elbows. Yeah, and we're going for 10 more seconds, guys. Did I mention that you're breathing? Long, straight neck for 3 and 2. You guys are so strong. And 1, lower one knee down and the other knee down. Separate those knees a lot. And then reach that booty back towards the heels, walking those hands forward, bringing your forehead down towards the mat, inching those fingertips further and further away from you, spreading those fingertips out a lot, and just enjoy the stretch and breathe. For 4 and 3, 2 and 1. All right, guys, keep those hands where they are, spreading out those fingertips purposefully. Then take an inhale. As you exhale, let's shift those hips forward. And then let's bend those elbows into the midsection. Come down towards the mat and pause and hold. Static hold. Elbows to the waist. Super hard for 4, 3, 2, and then lower your torso all the way down. Take those legs straight out behind you. Pivot those palms so they're facing up. Let those heels flop open. Bring that left cheek to the mat. And take that moment of well-deserved rest. And again, notice that mobility in the neck, just holding this resting pose. Take a few deep breaths. For 3 and 2 and 1. All right, let's pivot that gaze forward again. Place those elbows, place the hands under the shoulders. Tuck those toes underneath you again. Take an inhale as you exhale. Let's press into those hands, lifting the torso as much as feels good for you. Then take an inhale. As you exhale, come back into that plank position and hold. So this time we'll just be here for 30 seconds. But let's bend the elbows just a little bit more than is comfortable. So making this more challenging, bending the elbows. Of course, if you're new to planks and you don't have that strength yet, that's okay. You can keep those elbows straight. Although do keep a tiny softness in them just to prevent from hyperextending. But if you're with me doing this with those elbows bent more than, anyways, you got it. For 2 and 1. And then guys, let's place the knees down and we're going to come to a side lying position on the other side. So remember that side lying work we did? Let's do that on the other side. I'm just going to move my mat a little bit. So we'll come onto the elbow to start with, and we'll take that bottom knee, bend it out in front of us, and that top leg is out straight. Let me scoot over just a little bit more. Okay, then navel tuck to the spine. Take an inhale. As you exhale, let's lift those hips and lower and lift and lower and continue. Now, if you wish, you can come up onto that hand if that feels better for you, and breathe. Your top arm, guys, you can place it in front of you on the mat. If you want, you can reach it up towards the ceiling. You can place it on your hip, whatever feels good for you. But I'm interested more in moving in a different plane of motion, breathing, hollowing out that belly. Navel is tucked to the spine. For 4 and 3, looking good. 2 and 1, let's come all the way down. Nice job. And then we'll take this top leg. So you're welcome to, if you're on your elbow, you can stay there. I do want you to come down in space though, so we're no longer on the hand. You can also come down, resting your head on your hands if you wish. So whatever feels good for you, but we're going to focus on this top leg. This bottom leg is bent out in front of us. Let's swing that leg all the way forward and all the way back, and do it again. Wow, you guys, where does the time go? I feel like this class flew by today. Whew, breathing. By the way, we're keeping our leg at the same height in space. So it's not lifting or lowering as we're going through this range of motion. And really feel that nice stretch as you bring that leg forward, and that nice stretch as you bring that leg back, feeling that little bit of instability. So, and also notice how even these muscles in your midsection area are working to facilitate this movement. So that's kind of cool. All right, guys, for 3, remember what comes next? We're going to blast out this leg next. And 2. And the next time that leg is forward, pause. All right, little circles and breathe. By the way, for this sequence, our foot is in sort of a relaxed neutral position. When we kick the leg along, we'll begin to point those toes. So really feeling all this work in here. Looking good. Whew. Let's get down just a little bit more. And breathe. Woo. Feeling this quite a bit. For 3 and 2. And then let's pause and reverse the direction. Oh my goodness. Again, going for that cute, perky Pilates booty. Breathing. Woo. Yeah, feeling it quite a bit. For 3 and 2 and 1. Let's take that leg. We'll just lay it out long in front of us. Reach both arms in front. Take that top arm up and over. Coming into a side body stretch. And enjoy. For 3, 2, and 1. And come back to center. Then we'll take this top leg. We'll kick it long. This time we'll point the toes and then begin to make little circles. Woo, in one direction. Use your stabilizing muscles in the rest of your body, guys, to prevent you from rocking back and forth, and really try to isolate the movement into this area. It's going to be much harder, and it's going to require a lot of muscles to hold you stable. Whoops, my foot's about to cramp. Yeah, so if your foot is ever about to cramp and I'm telling you to point your toes, just pause and flex that foot. All right, guys, I'm going to eat a banana today. For 2, feeling this quite a bit, and 1, pause, reverse the direction of those circles. Oh my gosh. So my muscles are feeling fatigued, so I'm really feeling the desire to kind of rock my whole body around, but I'm purposefully overriding that with my mind-body connection so I can have the results I want. Woo! And we'll go for 4 more. Trying to maintain that form. And 2, and 1. Oh my gosh, I'm feeling it too. I see those faces. Then the knees, reach those knees directly out in front of the hips. Take your top arms in front. Then take that top arm up and over. And again, just really enjoying this well-deserved stretch in the midsection in that booty area. Woo! And breathe. And enjoy. For 4, you know what comes up. I just had a thought of, yay, I can't wait for foam roll Friday. So it's going to feel really good to roll all this out in a couple of days, guys. For 2, and 1. All right, let's lie onto the back. Press yourself up to a seated position. Keep those knees bent and those feet flat. We're going to come into that little booty massage. And then let's pivot from side to side. To side. Yeah, just massaging out those muscles that we just worked quite a bit. So just enjoy this sensation, this well-deserved sensation. Yeah. And breathe. You guys can thank me for your perky booties. For 2, and 1. All right, guys. Oh my gosh, this class really flew by. So let's press ourselves up to a standing position, however you want to get there. I'm going to keep you a couple of minutes over in case you're on a really tight time schedule. And then we'll take our final lady in a park and notice how your body feels after all this activity. We moved in every plane of motion. We got some cardio in. We got that heart rate up. We strengthened and lengthened. We worked all the muscle groups in the body. You planked for 2.5 minutes. You guys are killing it. For 2, and 1, and come to center. And we got some really good balance training in. All right, guys, let's reach those arms up overhead. Drop those shoulders, curl those fingertips over, tuck the chin to the chest, roll down, vertebrae by vertebrae. When you get down to the bottom, nod your head. Heck yes, I'm a Pilates rock star. I feel amazing. Shake your head. No, no, no. No bad posture or falls for me. And then softness in the knees. Head is heavy. Roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Oh, coming all the way up, and bring those shoulders up, back, and down. Up, back, and down. One more time, up, back, and down. And then, by the way, guys, keep those ears, or sorry, keep those shoulders under your ears all day, and keep space between this hip bone and this bottom rib all day. So in that good posture. And good job. Thank you so much for joining me. If you've joined me on YouTube, thanks so much for joining me. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Okay, have a great day, everybody.